All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something pretty fascinating. It's all about the potential for robots to, well, kind of shake up the mining industry.
Definitely a hot topic right now, especially with all this buzz around an American startup, Roboforce, and these really advanced robots built for some serious heavy lifting.
Yeah, that's what got us digging into this whole thing. What's interesting is, it's not just about cool robots. It's happening at a time when the mining sector is facing some pretty big challenges.
Huge challenges for sure. And one that keeps coming up in our research again and again is this massive labor shortage they're grappling with. Like, remember that McKinsey report from last year, 2023?
Yeah, the one where was it like over 70% of mining execs were saying labor shortages were a big roadblock to hitting their goal.
Exactly. It really highlights how widespread this problem is. And it's not just about filling empty positions either.
Right. It's also the whole safety aspect. I mean, mining's always been a risky business, but that makes it even harder to attract and keep skilled workers.
Absolutely. And that's where RoboForce and their AI-powered robots, these RFO4s, they come in.
And these aren't just your run-of-the-mill factory robots either. We're talking next-level stuff here.
Oh, yeah, these are a whole different ballgame. They've got these 5 core capabilities, really impressive stuff.
Okay, break it down for us. What can these robots actually do?
Well, first off, mobility. They can get around, navigate tricky terrain, even in those, underground mines or massive open pit operations.
So not just stuck in one spot.
No, not at all. Then there's manipulation, meaning they can physically interact with their environment. We're talking about operating heavy machinery, doing maintenance, even carrying out those really precise extraction processes.
Wow. Okay, so they're mobile, they can handle equipment. What else?
Learning, and this is huge. Mining environments are constantly changing, right? So these robots can actually learn and adapt to new situations. Imagine they encounter some new rock formation they've never seen before.
Instead of needing a whole reprogramming, they figure it out on the fly.
Pretty much. Their AI lets them analyze and adjust, which is a game changer, honestly. Then there's communication.
Making sure they can work smoothly with existing systems and, of course, the human teams.
Right, seamless integration is key. And finally, the big one for mining, safety compliance. It's built into their design.
Which makes sense, considering the risks. So we're talking about avoiding obstacles, but also things like sensors to detect hazards, emergency shutdown protocols.
Exactly. And being able to operate in areas that are just too dangerous to send people into.
So we've got these super advanced robots capable of all these things. The big question is, how does this reshape the workforce as we know it? And, for our listeners out there, what does it mean for their jobs, not just in mining, but in other industries, as this whole automation thing keeps rolling on?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And looking at what we've gathered, there are some potential benefits that stand out. First and foremost, addressing that labor shortage we talked about. These RFO4s, they can step in where it's hard to find people or where the work is just inherently risky.
Makes sense. You think about constructing new mine infrastructure, excavation, all those logistical tasks that are essential, but often pretty dangerous.
Exactly. And the global data report we looked at really emphasizes the safety improvements. They're already seeing a reduction in exposure to all sorts of hazards, physical ones like heavy lifting, but also biological and ergonomic risks.
So it's not just about doing things faster or more efficiently, it's about making things safer for the workers.
100%. And that brings up the broader implications. If we start taking humans out of the most dangerous jobs, does that mean mass unemployment?
Right, that's the fear a lot of people have with automation.
But the argument often made is that human roles would shift, not disappear. You'd have people managing these robotic systems, doing data analysis, maintenance, and repair, focusing on strategy and oversight.
More skilled positions, essentially.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, the key here is how mining companies handle this transition.
Yeah, the sources we looked at, they all highlight the importance of retraining and upskilling the existing workforce.
It's crucial. Will companies invest the savings they get from robots back into their employees? That's the make or break point for how this impacts people in the industry.
It's not just about filling the gaps we have now either. There's this example from the solar industry where they're saying robotic construction could cut project times down from 10 years to just 1.
Can you imagine? That kind of speed in mining would be a complete game changer, bringing new mineral deposits online way faster, upgrading existing operations. The potential is huge.
It really makes you think about how quickly technology is moving. Even if fully autonomous robots are still a while off, it's changing the landscape already, and not just in mining.
Exactly. It raises some big questions for all of us, regardless of our industry. How do we adapt to these rapid advancements? How do we ensure a smooth transition for workers as technology keeps evolving? Those are the things we need to be thinking about now.
Because it's not just a mining issue, it's a societal one. And the choices we make today will determine what that future looks like.
Absolutely. And it's something we'll all need to grapple with as we move forward.
Food for thought, for sure. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.